up, Floros? Beadaholique live class. Oh my gosh, I can't believe another week has gone by. Hello, everyone. Hi, Michelle. I see you there. It is Tuesday, August 26th. I actually had to look at the date written down because I've not really known what day it was for a while. The days are just flying by. Hi, Eric. How is everyone? Happy Tuesday. I hope your week is off to a great start, that you're all getting some things done, maybe having a little bit of fun, making some jewelry, shopping for some beads. What are you doing this week? Tell me, what's going on? I want to know. Hi, Kara. Hello. Lorraine is here from Chico, California. Hello. I'm glad you're good, Lorraine. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me what you're up to. What's going on? Jan T is here from Montana. I bet Montana is beautiful this time of year. Texas Tracy says hello all. Marianne Madden, hello from beautiful Massachusetts. Massachusetts is beautiful. Leah is here from Maine, also beautiful. Oh my gosh, you guys. So it is August 26th. It is 10:30 my time here in Arizona, 1:30 in the afternoon on the East Coast. So I hope all of you have already had a great Monday and are off to a great start on Tuesday. Kara says she's starting her apprenticeship training in 1 week. So exciting. Well, that does sound exciting, Kara. Marianne Madden says, Leah left there yesterday from Wells. Okay. Francie and KC is saying hello. Texas Tracy says, a lady at my church group gave me a bag full of jewelry pieces to fix for her. That's fun. It can be a little intimidating, but fun. I do like to do repairs. It just is kind of fun. It's a challenge. It's a fun challenge. Susan J is here from sunny Seattle. I'm so glad to hear it's sunny there. Santa Barbara girl, I'm trying to get something made today. I've been stunted for a while. I'm sure that it will come back around for you. You have such a creative mind. I'm sure things are going to come around. Jane from Michigan says she loves Arizona. Me too. Margaret is here. Happy Tuesday from North Carolina. Jacqueline is here from Boston. Love Boston. Janet says howdy from Northeast Texas. You guys are here from everywhere. Lisa in PA is here. Monica from Rhode Island. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Lorraine. I think I made these last year sometime, just with some fun connectors and chain and beads. You guys always show up. We appreciate that you're here. As you know, Beadaholique is closing, but we have vowed that we're going to have a great time, have some fun until the doors are locked and we can't get in anymore. We're going to just keep enjoying ourselves and keep sharing the love of Beadaholique and its wonderful products. So I'm here for another live class today. We're going to do something fun. Before we go there, let me refresh your memory. Beadaholique closing sale is at 40% off currently. And that means everything, like everything, all the things, the beads, the tools, the metal components, the findings, all of the stuff. Lots of things are selling out, selling down. I've had trouble finding some things I was looking for. So it's all happening very fast, but know that you don't need any special code, any special coupon, anything like that to get 40% off. Oh, Zakaya, you are so sweet, my friend. Yeah, so it's happening, folks. But if you want to stay in the know, make sure you sign up for the Beadaholique newsletter on the website. So go to the website. I think it's down at the bottom of the page. Get signed up. So if there is any change in that sale, you'll be one of the first to know. If you're watching for the first time on beadaholique.com, that is the best place to watch. So if you go to the website, you can go to learn and you can go to live shows And frankly, if you go to the website, it should just pop right up on your screen. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, we love that you're watching us, but we would love for you to come on over and watch live. You can chit chat with the other Beadaholique fans here, and you can shop the show. So if you don't know how to do that, there is an icon on the screen. It looks like a little shopping bag. And in that shopping bag is everything that I'm working with in the show today, and a few other things that I threw in, maybe some options for what I'm working with. And let's see. There may be a few things that are sold out, and know that some things may be very limited, and also when they sell out, they sell out. So when you are shopping, which you can do while you watch, you can take those things from that shopping bag, put them into your shopping cart, and know that we're going to ask you to close out your cart before the end of the show so you don't miss any of these items getting to you. So if you love them, get them in your cart, get them home, get them on their way. And yeah, so that's how it works. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, I can't see your comments live, but we love that you watch wherever you watch from. So thank you guys for being here. Let me just go back and say hello to a few more folks. Zakaya, Dee from Miami, Marisol, oh my goodness, hello my friend. Margaret's here from Mineola, awesome. So, oh, and I forgot, Michelle is reminding me, orders over $35 also ship free. So who doesn't love free shipping? I feel like I live for free shipping. Like that makes my day. So anyways, what we're going to do today, you guys, is embellish. So I love to embellish. And the thing about jewelry making is we can embellish. We can embellish everything. So I want to help you make your jewelry extra. So I've got just a bunch of fun little things that you can do to embellish your jewelry components and do some fun things. So I'm gonna just grab some things. I'll show you some tips and tricks, and you can do with them what you will, but I'm hoping that you'll find some goodies too that will be interesting to you and maybe help you come up with something fun to make. So let me get my camera positioned here. Margaret is asking about Mineola, Texas. Is Mineola in Texas? I don't know where Mineola is. Let's see. And Tracy's asking about super duos. Mini super duos are the same as regular super duos. Oh, okay. All right. So my friends, one of the things that I thought we could do is we could look at some different things to embellish. And that to me means kind of gluing stuff on stuff. So I actually originally started to call this show Let's Glue Stuff, because we are going to use a lot of glue in the projects I'm showing you today. So I want to just quickly show you this little idea. And I want to tell you, first of all, these are sold out. But some of you may have something like this, so this idea is still relevant. But those little clear glass cabochons are sold out. But what I did is I grabbed these fun little components. So these are earring posts with 8mm glue-on pads and a loop, and they are stainless steel. So they are an earring post, and they have an 8mm pad and a little loop at the end. So you can glue something on here. And it's got a little divot there that will actually help get the piece adhered to the metal. But this is super fun. So this allows you to do all kinds of things. So I used one of those little clear glass pieces. And this is a little tough to see, but I had some scrap cardboard around. So I had this cute pink and white pattern. This was from a calendar, a little calendar book that I had. And I cut a circle And I actually sealed it with a little bit of Mod Podge. And then I cut it to fit, and I glued it on to the back of that little cabochon. Then I glued on my little stainless steel piece, a little earring post. And then on that little loop at the bottom, I wire wrapped a bead to hang from it. I picked really bad colors for this example, but Mod Podge, what's that? So Mod Podge, we don't sell that at Beadaholique, but it is a product that's used for a lot of like decoupage and sealing of paper crafting. So this is a big giant jug of Mod Podge, and it's basically a glue. So I've glued on that, and then these just this little post has a little something on it. You could literally glue on some paper or glue on something else. I'll show you another option. But this is just a fun little post earring that you can create and embellish. Let's see. Jan T, are there any flat back round rhinestones? I don't know if they're smaller than SS12 in multicolors. Lene, because these are stainless steel, they should not tarnish. I don't ever bet that anything won't tarnish, but stainless steel is a pretty good bet. And let's see, Zakiah saying adorable, thank you. And Dee says, if you craft, you know. So this is a fun idea. So here's another option. So if you grab, oh, here, I have one out already. If you have one of these, you can pick up a beautiful prestige crystal that is gorgeous. So look at this, is outrageously beautiful, outrageously sparkly. This is a number 1098 light chaton in an SS 39. And you can take that and glue that right onto your earring finding here. Let me see if I can show you what it would look like. And then you can still dangle something from the bottom. So you can take some crystal chain or another beautiful bead, maybe a black pearl would look beautiful with this one. So I'm not going to glue this on because I'm going to glue this on to something else today, but this is an idea for you. This is a fun little set of earring backs. So this is just fun to work with. I would grab some of these because, of course, they are 40% off and they are so versatile. I'm sure you guys can come up with all kinds of fun things to glue onto these to make custom earrings for yourself. So embellish these like crazy and make some extra cool, fun earrings. Lorraine is asking, does Mod Podge stick to stainless steel as a permanent glue? Oh, you know what I did? So I used the Mod Podge to glue the paper to the glass, but I used E6000 to glue the back to the piece. So E6000 is my glue of preference. It's what I'm going to be using today. For everything that I'm gluing. This is an excellent product for most run-of-the-mill jewelry making projects. When you're working with crystals, which I'm going to be doing, I never use super glue, and I would urge you not to either. Super glue is known for frosting your crystals. So if you have a beautiful prestige crystal like this and you use super glue, it's going to give you a really weird frosty effect onto your crystal. So I do not recommend any kind of super glue. This E6000 for me is the use for everything or almost everything glue. So this, someone's asking the size of this. This is SS 39. So this is gorgeous. So this is a really beautiful piece. Why don't we go ahead and use this? I'm going to move our fun little earring out of the way. These are in your shopping bag, so I suggest you drop some of those into your cart. Now, I like to protect my work surface with a piece of cardboard. I know a lot of folks think that's a silly way to protect your workspace, but for me it works. I recycle cardboard in my house, so this is a way for me to reuse it and to protect my wood space here. So I've got this crystal, and there are so many things that you can do with crystals. I also have this one. I have this beauty, which is a little bit more multicolored and beautiful. This is Crystal AB. This is an SS34 1098 light chaton, and it is prestige and it is beautiful. So look at these two different options. The darker one is a little bit bigger and the lighter one is a little bit smaller, equally as faceted and beautiful and gorgeous. So it just depends on the look you want to go for, the vibe that you want. And I'm going to take some filigree. Now, originally, I picked these out and they are sold out. Some of you may already have these stashed away. I'll set those just up there, but I picked out this one. I believe this one is available, maybe not this exact color. And then there is something to this effect that is available as well. And these are filigree pieces. They are super fun to work with. You can do all kinds of things with these. You can paint them. You can use some patina. You can use acrylic paint and brush it off when you've colored it, or you can just let this beautiful filigree metal do its thing and embellish it with a simple rhinestone flat back. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to show you how I do it. I maybe don't do it exactly like everybody else, but my main tool for this one, for rhinestones that are this big, is a toothpick. And I'm going to take my E6000. Now, E6000 is stringy, so I want to move in swift movements when I'm working with this glue. I'm going to take a little dab, I'm going to drop it onto my cardboard and swipe it away. And I always close up my little container before I put it down. I'm going to swipe up a little bit onto my toothpick. And then I'm going to take this beautiful rhinestone and I'm just going to dab on a little bit in the center. So I'm not going to use a lot. In fact, this end of this glue is a little clumpy. So I'm actually going to get some more out. The lights are really hot in this room, so that also may be drying it out a bit. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to take that in my hand, and this is a big enough piece that I don't really need to use a tool to place it. So I'm going to take that and drop it down in the center, and I'm going to place it right in there, and I just want to get it in the right spot. I'm using my fingers very gently to press down. If you press too hard, you can reposition it. But look how pretty that looks. So the filigree was beautiful by itself, right? Gorgeous, beautiful filigree piece. But look at what happens to it when you add this incredible, sparkly, prestige flatback rhinestone. I mean, this is unbelievable. So I love this for a lot of things. I'll give you a couple of ideas to do with this piece. So you can take this and you can attach jump rings or chain or beads because you have all of these open spaces around the edge. Thank you for the hearts, you guys. So you've got all these openings around. So there's tons of opportunity to embellish this even more. So if you wanted to, you could wrap beads to the bottom and create this really cool dangly earring kind of thing. And then you could come up top and attach a simple ear wire. So I think I have ear wires handy. Let me see. What did I do with my ear wires? They are somewhere here. Let me grab a gold one. So if you have an ear wire that you love, let me grab a gold one here. So what you can do is open up that ear wire. Grab my chain nose. I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to take this and attach an ear wire to it. So you can attach it, and now you've got a simple earring. So you could do, this could be all the embellishment that you want, and you can just make this your earring. Super pretty, super fun, super sparkly, and very, very cool. And depending on the rhinestone that you use, this can have all different effects. So if you picked a red rhinestone or a blue rhinestone, this can have a completely different effect. But, you know, you've got all of this real estate down at the bottom. So you can add those dangles. You can add another filigree. You can attach another filigree to the bottom here and have kind of a big statement double filigree look. So this opens up so many creative possibilities. You can also put this in a necklace. If you just want a simple, pretty filigree, rhinestone pendant, you can attach jump rings and chain. You can attach your wire guards, and you can have a beaded piece that goes up from this. And this becomes a really lovely focal. This could be just a simple pendant on a simple gold chain, and you have a really lovely piece of jewelry. So I say filigrees are pretty, but the rhinestone on the filigree is, so this is really a gorgeous. So let me see, I'm catching up on comments here. Ooh, Susan, how about a brooch? Yes, so I just made a brooch the other day, and I hadn't made a brooch for a while. You could most definitely put a pin back on this and wear it as a brooch. And I actually like this piece for that a little bit better. So let's put a rhinestone on this one too. Let's embellish this one. So I've got this other large flat back, and then I'm just going to put a little bit in the center there. And then I'm going to take that rhinestone and drop it in the right spot and use my finger to kind of move that around a little bit. And I'm going to hold it for a couple of seconds. These, the E6000 dries really fast. I wouldn't recommend gluing something and putting it on a few minutes later, but look how pretty this is. Oh my goodness. This piece just went to a whole new level. It was pretty before, but now it's really pretty. So look at that prestige crystal in the center there. It's so gorgeous. So this could be a brooch. You could put your pin back right along here, or if you want to wear it this way, you put your pin back right along here. And you've got lots of possibilities here. You've got a place to put an ear wire. You've got a place to put a drop bead at the bottom. Santa Barbara Girls said, I love this. Reminds me of 1928. Yes, 1928 jewelry was so popular. I think I've actually seen some newer 1928 jewelry. Am I imagining that? And again, this could be painted. This could be embellished all along here. Could be a pendant. But look at the difference of just adding a little bit of an embellishment. And as a jewelry maker, you have the power to embellish anything. With a little bit of glue, with a little bit of E6000, you've got the power to do so many things. So This is an excellent fun thing. Now, if you have smaller pieces like these, you can also do some embellishing as well. These are sold out, but I thought I would just show. I've got some other flat back mixes in the show. This one is a Prestige SS20 Hot Fix flat back mix in Christmas. And the cool thing about this is it doesn't have to be Christmas. See if I can get this open. So the Christmas has some really beautiful options. So some beautiful reds and greens, and look at this like a clear crystal one. So what if we put, oh, wait, actually that's a white one. There's actually a crystal one too. I'll show you the difference if I can find it again. I saw it. Here it is. Yeah, so there's this one, and then there's this one. So this kind of looks, oh gosh, this looks like snow, and then this one just looks a little bit more silvery. So I'm going to go with this one and just show you that if you've got a little mix like this, this is the power to embellish many things. So you can do so much with just a little vial of rhinestones. And this one is fun. So this rhinestone is still big enough that I feel like I can hold this in my finger and use it to place onto my piece. So I'm going to come in here. Oh, now see, this makes this piece go to a whole new level. Look at that. Hi, Ray. This is just spectacular. So I'm going to move that just a bit to get it in the right spot. And that brings this piece to a whole new level. So you've got a gorgeous little filigree, and all you need is some glue and some rhinestones, and you can make anything beautiful. If you had two of these are instant earrings, just drop that on. But what I'm suggesting to you here is if you've got filigree, so there's filigree in the shop at beadaholique.com, get yourself some filigree. And if you have other filigree at home, maybe you even have these, just start getting those flat backs out and your glue. Get something to protect your table and have some fun. I mean, it's super fun to embellish things and to make them shinier and sparklier and do all the things. So let me show you another little fun thing I found at beadaholique.com. I've got two of these. I've got one in each color. I've got a silver one and a gold one. These are little charms, and these are spectacular. I had never seen these before. These are a 19 millimeter. The gold one is gold plated, and the other one is just stainless steel. But the gold is gold plated stainless steel, and they're called sunburst charms. And they are really nice quality. So the front side has this sort of etched look to it, and the back side is just a shiny metal. These would make excellent charms for a bracelet, or they would make amazing charms for your earrings. And they have a perfectly positioned place for an embellishment. So let's set those down here. I've got some other flat backs for you. So we also have these amazing Prestige flat back mixes of multi-colors and multi-sizes. And let me tell you, these are fabulous. So I'm actually going to drop this. I'm going to pour these into a little triangular container here, just so I can see them and I can actually get control of them. So look at all of this color. Look at all of the shapes. Look at this fun shape here. This is something I love to have around. A little mix like this. If I pick up a charm like this and I say, I just want a little embellishment, I can go to my little mix and find the perfect embellishment. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to test some out for size. It's going to be hard for you to see this, but I'm going to test this out for size. So this size, I can get it to drop on here in the right direction. This one's a little bit big. It doesn't fit exactly in that little divot on the charm. So I'm going to go down a size and I'm going to grab a different color. And oh my goodness, look at that. So that is a yellow flat back. And I know it kind of blends in, but maybe that's exactly what you want because this does look like a sunburst. So, hi Debbie J. So I'm gonna go for that one for this. Now, for this particular charm, this is a pretty small flat back. So in the shopping bag, I put in, this isn't the exact one, but I put in this tool. So this has a little waxy end. It looks like a pencil. And it has a waxy end, and you can use it to pick up crystals. So there's something magic about wax and a crystal that you can use it and place it on to your piece. So I'm going to do that here, and I'm going to take my glue again. And oh, it's very stringy. I'm going to put out my little dab on the side here, and I'm going to take just a little swipe. And I'm going to put that little, let me grab another swipe. I'm going to take just a little bit and drop it into the center and pull away my, my toothpick. And then I'm going to pick up that crystal and I'm going to drop it right down into that piece. So if you see, there's actually a little rim there, and it's a little tiny bit raised, just a very hair of a raised little circle there. So I'm setting that crystal right down in, and then I'm going to use the other end of this, which is like the back of a pencil, and I'm just pressing down a little bit, and then you're going to want to let this dry. Now, this glue does dry very fast, but don't wear it for a while. Don't use it. Like if you're going to put this on a bracelet, put the crystal on, set this aside, make the bracelet, go have a little lunch, come back, and then attach your charm. Look at how cool that yellow flat back looks on here. So yeah. So this is a really fun little piece. Now let's pick a different color for this one. So we've got a beautiful purple. Look at that. And I've already got glue on my fingers, guys. So sorry about that. And this one should fit. I think it's the same size that I just used. I'm just going to double check it. Yep. So that's a beautiful color. I love that with this stainless. So I'm going to put that little swipe of glue on my cardboard. I'm going to grab a fresh toothpick, grab a little bit, and I'm going to place that glue onto my surface, just a little bit. You don't want too much because it will spill out, and then it will kind of make your piece look not so polished and not so pretty. So I'm going to place my rhinestone in there, kind of get it in that right spot. Can use your fingers a little bit if you need to, and then I'm just going to press down with the end of the tool, and look at that beautiful charm. These charms are so great. Hey, Tina, good to see you. So this is so cool. I absolutely love these for these little flat backs. I would get a whole bunch of these. I would make a whole bracelet with these charms. And then with all of these wonderful flat backs, I've got tons more flat backs to make more fun things. So let's keep embellishing. I'm gonna embellish something else that I love. So I made this jewelry design for our friends at artbeads.com. And this bracelet was made with some beads that were from an assortment. And I took these incredible tiara cast charms or connectors, these. I absolutely love this. This is one of my favorite things Tiara Cast ever did, was make this really cool eye connector, which doesn't have to be an eye because it could just be some fun little teardrop piece. And it looks like this on this side. So on one side, you've got a design, but this is ripe for the embellishing. Now, if you don't have flat backs, you could come in with a little paint here and embellish with a little paint, maybe some what is that? Like glitter glue would look cool in there. And Tracy said, wish it was not called Evil Eye. I like it was not called Evil Eye. I like those. Yeah, Evil Eye is a good thing though. The evil eyes are intended to ward off evil, not be evil. So that's why I love them. So we want some protection. So that's what this charm can do for you if you believe in such a thing. So this is ripe for the embellishment though, right? I mean, this is a beautiful spot to embellish, and I connected 3 here, and I chose some really fun colors, some orange and purple, and you can do the same. You can pick some really fun colors, and I'm going to grab this one here and see how this one looks. Oh, wow. So I love this. So I just grabbed right out of my assortment here this beautiful flat back. It's like almost a peachy pink. So let's put that one in there. Let's do that because I think that will look really, really pretty. And it just kind of elevates this charm. I mean, you can take this charm, like I said, and leave it as is, or you can add some glitter glue or paint or whatever, and you could call it a day. But I think it's ripe for some embellishment. We want to make this extra. We want to make this extra. So I'm going to come in and pick up my rhinestone. I'm going to drop it right into that bezel. I'm going to use my finger and press that down. And this has a much deeper bezel than that charm that we were just working with. That one was just a hair, but this one you can actually press down confidently and get that little embellishment in there. Oh goodness, this is just fun. So I love the look of this. You could, as I said, hang it this way instead. If you don't like the look of it as an eye, attach your ear wire up here, come down here and wire wrap a bead onto the bottom. But this tiara cast piece, so this is from the tiara cast days when it was made in the US. It's now made over in Greece. They are the same quality, but the metal tones might be a little bit different if you pick up them currently. But these are so stunning, so gorgeous. The workmanship is amazing. And this is just one of my favorite components that they ever made. Just really fun, really ripe for the embellishing. And I think if you've got others, so if you had another, let's just see for fun what some other colors might look like. So here's a darker, is that darker? Yeah, this is a darker one. So look at the difference. So just the simple addition of a little flat rhinestone. Are there any rhinestones that are shaped like the eye itself? I don't know. Maybe Michelle may know. I don't remember seeing any like that, but I suppose I may have missed. So we'll see if we can get you an answer to that. What about this one? Look at this. Oh, wow. So just so many opportunities to embellish if you're equipped with some flat backs and some glue. So I love connecting these, and you could actually connect enough to make an entire bracelet and use all different colors, or use your favorite color. Maybe you like that purple tone, or you like from this mix, you really like that. This is kind of, I'm not really sure what to call this color. It's like a coral color, really pretty. So if you like that, you could just do all of them in that coral color. So embellish, embellish, embellish. Let's make our stuff extra. I'm going to set aside the flat backs for a minute. I'm going to show you another thing I like to do. And these are fun. So fall is coming. And I found these that were still in stock. Hopefully they still are. These are a vintage natural brass altered blank stamping, and it's in the shape of a leaf. And I thought these were really fun. So you could take these flat backs and glue them on. You could like fill up the whole leaf. You could do, just kind of an abstract pattern. You could stamp these and paint these and do all kinds of fun things. But here's what I did. I wanted to make it extra and embellish it. So I grabbed some rhinestone cup chain. And I did it kind of in the shape of the leaf. Julie P says, I don't actually believe fall will ever come. Julie, we don't have fall here anyways. Who are you kidding? So this is just something fun that you can do. Easy peasy. So there is some rhinestone cup chain in the shopping bag. And I already pre-cut my piece, but let me tell you a little bit about rhinestone cup chain. So you might hear people call this rhinestone chain. You might hear them just refer to it as cup chain. Here's why it's called cup chain. You see, there's little cups that are holding those little rhinestones. So they're just kind of held in by those little prongs. And they're sitting in that little cup. And the cup is on this kind of expandable chain. It's kind of, I wouldn't really call it chain, but it's these little expandable connector pieces that feed through the bottom of those cups. So you can do lots of fun things with rhinestone cup chain. My favorite thing to do with rhinestone cup chain is use it to embellish things, to make it extra. So I glued that one on. I'll show you how I glue rhinestone cup chain onto something like this. This is nice and flat. So it's easy to work with. I do this, and you might be horrified by how I do this, but I've done this so many times, I feel like I can do it fairly safely. I'm going to take some glue, like I do for all the other things, and I'm going to take my chain, and I'm going to lightly run my chain over the top of that glue, kind of dredge it onto the glue. So it's getting a little bit of glue, but not a lot of glue. And then I'm going to take my chain and place it onto my leaf. Now, I got too much up towards the top there. You can see how it kind of spilled over a little bit, but I'm kind of shaping it a little organically, like it's the little seam that you see down a leaf. And I'm also pulling on that chain because that chain is expandable. So if you want it to be the same length as your other, you'll want to make sure that all of your little links are expanded. So I got a little bit of overflow of glue here. I don't really get too excited about that. But I am going to kind of bend this a little bit so that it looks kind of organic. Just looks like maybe that seam of a leaf might look. And you can do it straight down. I see extra Deb's all about it. Ah, that's funny. Oh, Tracy, you're funny. So I like the extra. So this is just one easy idea to take and embellish these fun little leaf charms. It is fall. Like, I would scoop these up at this price point that you're going to get them at the 40% off. You can do all kinds of things. Get your stamping equipment out. Get your patina paints out. Do all the fun things with these. But if you want them to be a little extra and a little sparkly, you can add some cup chain. And then all you need to do is add your ear wire to that little loop up top. So I thought those were kind of fun. And I've still got plenty of the cup chain. This is sold by the foot. I've got plenty of this cup chain left, and I can embellish more things. I've even done some embellishing where I do like a loop of this and kind of put it around a cabochon. So if you've got, let me see, what did I do with those? These are sold out, but just as an example, just to show you, if you had something that you were setting this little cabochon on, you could take your rhinestone cup chain and go around that and add a little bit of embellishment around it. So making that extra. Let's see. Debbie J says, I've never used rhinestones or flatbacks before. Do you have any instructions for beginners? I don't know if there's anything out there, Michelle, but I'm hoping that today maybe some of what I'm sharing might be helpful. You can always go back and watch the replay if you missed some of the other chatting about it so far. But one other thing to be aware of with cup chain when you're cutting it. So I'll go ahead and cut a piece of this. So when I cut my cup chain, I always turn my cutters down in this direction, and I'm going to come in and try and cut as close to the end of one of the cups as possible. And I try and hang it so that those expandable metal pieces will drop down and you can actually trim it at the point where that little piece comes out so that that little piece of metal isn't hanging out. If it is, you can still grab it and cut it and trim it off. But I always cut it that way, and that way then I don't have that little extra metal piece, coming out. So the glue Margot that I'm working with today is E6000. This is my go-to glue. I use this for all of these kinds of projects that I'm showing you today. So all of these embellishing kinds of experiences, gluing on flatbacks, gluing on cabochons, gluing flatback or rhinestone cup chain. E6000 is safe because it's not going to frost any of the crystals that you might be working with. Super glue will frost your crystals. So if you invest in some nice prestige crystals, and you use super glue, it's going to kind of give it a frosty effect, which maybe you want. But E6000 is kind of a go-to for everything. It's non-toxic. It doesn't have a smell. It's pretty easy to work with. And I use this almost exclusively. The only thing I don't use this for is like macrame with fabrics and cording and that kind of thing. I use a GS Hypo cement for that. But this is excellent glue for this type of a project. This is my go-to. So that's what I'm using today. And I believe we've got some in the shopping bag for you. So that's a few ideas. I've got, I think, one other thing to show you that might be interesting. So I'm going to grab, I've got a few things here that I need. So I need these guys. Let me set those down. And I've got one of these. And then I'm going to grab these fun little vials of beads. And let me talk about these briefly. So these are what are called finial beads. And if you're not familiar with a finial bead is a half drilled bead. So I'll take these out of the package in a second, but you'll notice just seeing them in the package that there is a hole in that bead, but there's only a hole that goes halfway through the bead. So you can't put stringing wire through or thread through or anything like that. It's really intended to be put onto some kind of a setting or on a piece of wire to be the end of something. So I thought that I would show you something cool that you can do if you pick up some fun little settings that I found too. So let me first take some out of here and show you. These are small, so they're 2 millimeter. So they are tiny little guys. And this color is matte metallic flax. There's also this beautiful Color Trends saturated metallic nebulous blue. This blue is dreamy and so incredible, bright and bold. So you see, this little guy has a hole, but if you roll it over, I don't know if I can even get it to the right side. It's so small. There's no hole on the other side. So they are intended to be the end of something or to be placed onto a piece of metal that is like a setting. And I found some settings on the Beadaholique website. So here's what I did. I created a tiny little stud earring. Now, I have multiple piercings, so I like to wear a little stud in my second hole on my ear. And I just thought this was the cutest little post earring. So the way that I did that is I grabbed one of these pairs of settings. So this is a sterling silver earring post finding. This has a 6 millimeter cup pad with a post in it. Really hard to show you that. There's a decent shot. So it's a post and then it has a little cup and it has a little post sticking up from the cup. And that's to put in a little bead that's like half drilled. Now there are other half drilled beads out there in the world, but I thought these finial beads, if you wanted to take advantage of the 40% off, might be kind of fun to work with and fun to make a little post earring. Now this other pair is, oh, you know what? I showed you the 4 millimeter one. This is the 6 millimeter one. My apologies. So same deal, a larger cup, same size post, and it is a post earring. These do not come with earring backs. So I put some earring backs in the show as well. So if you want to grab some of those and drop those in your shopping cart, you can pick those up as well. So I'm just going to show you how I made that, that first one. I'll make the set for myself. So I'll have a fun new post pair of earrings. So I'm going to grab one of these beads. And I'm going to do something again. Maybe this might be a little scary to you. I'm going to put my finial bead here. I'm going to open up my glue and I'm going to very carefully take my finding and just dab it in the glue and pull it away quickly. And then I'm going to take my little finial and I'm going to drop it onto that post and I'm going to press down and hold that for a little bit. So we're not, Eric says, we're not scared. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, I don't know. If it's going to go wrong, I'm probably going to make it go wrong. But it's just glue, right? But they are sterling silver findings, so you probably wouldn't want to waste them. But you have a few seconds, or at least 30 seconds to clean up your glue mess if you make one. But look how cute these are. And so these are little gold finials with a fun little silver cup around them. So that in and of itself makes these kind of fun. If you had a bigger half drilled bead that covered that cup, you might like that look better. But I like this look because it's a two-tone look. It's really kind of fun. So I'm going to take that same size finial and I'm going to put them onto those bigger cup earring posts. So let me get I'm going to do the blue this time. So just get a couple of the blue ones out. For some reason, 3 of them want to hang out with me. So I'm going to grab 2. I'm going to set those down, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one. So you see, I've got that cup, I've got that little post. I want glue to be there. So I'm just going to take that and press it into my glue. And I see that there's some there because of the stringiness of this glue. And then I'm going to find, these beads are small. These little finials are small. So I got to find the hole on that finial. There it is. And going to press that on to that little post. And I'm going to hold that, excuse me, hold that down for a bit. And then we've got this beautiful blue finial right in the middle of that nice cup, and it's standing out, and it's actually, because that brilliance of that blue is it's reflecting off of that cup, it really makes this earring look really interesting and fun. So I'm going to make the second one, and I'm going to let those dry. Please don't make these and put these in your ears immediately. You might be sad if you did that, because you might have your hair stuck and your little finial bead might fly off somewhere to edges of your home that you haven't seen for a long time. So super fun. Little cute post earrings. And there are so many colors of these finial beads. I mean, so many colors. So you can pick up 1 to 10 different colors and use these for these fun post earrings. So we just embellished those little earring posts. Let me make sure there's nothing else here that I had to embellish for you. Oh, okay, these were sold out, okay, right off the gate, so you have to know that. But I wanted to show you these bobby pins. If you have these or you have something like these can also be embellished. So if you have some of these flat backs, you can take that flat back. I'm not going to do it to this one, but you can take a flat back and drop it on. You could put a bunch of smaller ones on. This can, it's just a little bobby pin. These are sold out, you guys. I'm sorry, but maybe there's something else on the site. I don't know, Michelle, if there's another option on the site, but this is ripe for the embellishing. So you can take flat backs. You can get some of these bigger prestige crystals and pop those on with a little bit of E6000. You could do a little bit of decoupage. You could do a little fabric. You could do something like that. So just showing you that there are so many ways to embellish things and make things extra. So I'm going to flip up for a minute, see if you guys have any questions about embellishing and about the kinds of things that I worked with today. And tell me what you're thinking. And that will also give you a chance to check out. So as I mentioned earlier in the show, we're closing. So Beadaholique is closing its doors. Everything is 40% off. And when things are gone, they're gone. And some things are already in very low supply. So some of the things even in the show today sold out since I picked them up. So I just want to make sure you guys don't miss out. So close your cart so these things can get on their way to you. Anybody have a question about embellishing? Anybody going to do any other embellishing of things? I'm just so glad you joined me today, you guys. I'm so thankful that you join us here at beadaholique.com. Chrissy, thank you so much. Thank you, Margot, for being here. Gosh, you guys, it's so much fun hanging out on Tuesdays. I'm here at 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, which is 1:30 Eastern time. Julie will be back on Thursday for her Thursday show, and then she'll be back again on Monday. So we're doing 3 shows a week, still giving you content. Well, I just saw something. I'm surprised you haven't embellished your glasses frames. Tracy, I have a little project sitting over here that I'm working on with glasses. Not these, but sunglasses, because I want to make them extra. Oh, thank you, Francie. Thank you guys for hanging out. I love hanging out with all of you Beadaholique fans. I'll see you next Tuesday, and Julie will see you Thursday and Monday. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Go make some stuff. Go make some stuff extra. Go embellish some stuff.